In the vibrant heart of Accra, Ghana, there's a young woman full of ambition and dreams. Let's call her Adwoa. She's a talented graphic designer pouring her creativity into every project. But Adwoa harbors a bigger dream, not to seek opportunities abroad, not to leave Africa behind, but to explore the diverse tapestry of her own continent. She envisions herself standing in awe before the ancient pyramids in Sudan, feeling the weight of history. She dreams of losing herself in the rhythm and energy of a dance in Kinshasa, celebrating life with the Congolese people. She longs to taste the rich aromatic tagine in a bustling Marrakesh market, savoring the flavors of Morocco, and she yearns to challenge herself with a hike through Ethiopia's majestic mountains, breathing in the crisp, high-altitude air. Adwoa has diligently saved her money, carefully packed her travel bag, and is brimming with excitement, ready to finally embark on her journey to discover the wonders of her continent. But her vibrant dream abruptly collides with a harsh reality, a towering wall of bureaucratic paperwork. To simply visit her neighboring countries, she's confronted with the daunting task of obtaining numerous visas, each with its own set of requirements. She needs to provide detailed bank statements, proving her financial stability and intentions, and she must offer endless explanations, justifying her travel plans and intentions to skeptical officials. It's an absurd situation, akin to needing a hall pass and extensive documentation just to walk from your living room to your kitchen within your own home. Sadly, Adwoa's frustration is not unique. Millions of Africans share this same disheartening experience. Promising entrepreneurs are forced to miss crucial conferences and networking opportunities, hindering their business growth. Families are tragically separated, unable to easily visit loved ones across borders, and the arbitrary borders, drawn long ago during colonial times, continue to dictate and restrict the free movement of people across the continent. In a cruel irony, it's often significantly easier for a tourist from Europe or other parts of the world to travel freely throughout Africa than it is for Africans themselves. And so Adwoa's long-awaited dream is regrettably put on hold indefinitely. Her trusty travel backpack sits forlornly in a corner, slowly gathering dust, a symbol of her unrealized aspirations. And her hard-earned savings, once earmarked for adventure, are gradually spent on the necessities of everyday life. The vibrant and diverse Africa she so desperately wants to experience remains tantalizingly out of reach, readily visible online in countless photos and videos, but frustratingly inaccessible in real life. The continent, with all its potential, feels fragmented, like a collection of disconnected islands, each requiring a new and arduous swim through a sea of red tape and bureaucratic hurdles. This restrictive system is simply not the Africa of the future, the Africa we envision and strive for. It's a relic of the past, an outdated system that should have been discarded long ago, needlessly holding back the immense potential of the continent and its people. Just imagine for a moment if Adwoa could simply pack her bags and go, without the burden of paperwork and unnecessary barriers. What incredible opportunities would be unlocked? What would Africa truly look like if its people could move freely, connecting, collaborating, and exploring their shared heritage? The inspiring dream of a truly united and seamlessly connected Africa remains, for now, just that, a tantalizing dream. But what if it didn't have to remain a dream? What if this vision could become a tangible reality? What if just one country, bold and forward-thinking, decided to challenge the status quo and change everything, paving the way for a new era of African unity and freedom of movement? Let's talk about visas. These small stamps and documents, often overlooked, hold immense power. For Africans, obtaining visas can be a true maze, a complex and often frustrating journey filled with obstacles. Even with a strong passport, one that should open doors to new experiences and opportunities, traveling the continent, exploring its diverse cultures and landscapes, often feels like a mission impossible. Every country seems to demand a different set of documents, creating a bureaucratic nightmare for travelers. The process involves endless forms, each requiring meticulous attention and often duplicated information. Sometimes you might even need a letter from a distant relative, a seemingly arbitrary requirement in this complex game. Planning what should be a simple trip feels less like an exciting adventure and more like a full-time job, consuming time and energy. Now compare this to Europe. A German citizen can wake up, spontaneously hop on a train, and find themselves in Rome by dinner time. No questions asked, no bureaucratic hurdles to overcome. That freedom of movement has made Europe stronger, fostering deeper connections and economic growth. Meanwhile, Africans are often stuck in long, frustrating lines, waiting for hours, sometimes days, just to apply for a visa. They are often treated like suspects, facing unnecessary scrutiny and suspicion at every turn. Leaders frequently talk about unity, about breaking down barriers and fostering collaboration. But in reality, policies often reinforce division, creating artificial boundaries that hinder progress. This visa fortress ultimately hurts Africans the most, limiting their opportunities and potential. Businesses lose out on crucial deals, hindering economic growth and development. Students miss out on invaluable educational opportunities, limiting their future prospects. And even doctors are forced to skip important medical conferences, hindering the exchange of knowledge and best practices. In essence, we're building walls while the rest of the world is actively building bridges, connecting people and ideas. It's a self-imposed barrier to progress, holding back the continent from reaching its full potential. The great irony: Pan-Africanism, the idea of a unified and interconnected Africa, is constantly preached. But unfortunately, it's often not put into practice, remaining a distant dream rather than a tangible reality. The result is a tragic loss of opportunities, stunted economic growth, and a general sense of unrealized potential. Ultimately, it leaves a continent divided by its own rules, hindering collaboration and progress. But imagine the incredible possibilities if these walls were to come down, if borders became less restrictive. What if Africa made a conscious choice to prioritize connection and collaboration over suspicion and division? The answer to unlocking Africa's potential might be closer than we think, within our grasp. Because one forward-thinking country decided to challenge the status quo and try something radically different. And that single decision had a ripple effect, changing everything for the better. Let's delve into this transformative change and see exactly how it unfolded. Enter Benin, a land of vibrant culture and rich history, nestled on the coast of West Africa. A small West African nation with a big idea. An idea so profound it could reshape the future of the continent. In 2016, Benin made a groundbreaking decision, opening its doors wide to all Africans. A gesture of unity and trust. No visas required, no fees to pay, just show your passport, a symbol of your identity and belonging. While others talked about unity in grand halls and conferences, Benin acted, putting words into tangible action. This wasn't just another policy change on paper, it was a fundamental mindset shift. A new way of seeing their place in Africa. Benin saw fellow Africans not as strangers but as partners in progress, tourists eager to explore its beauty, investors ready to build and grow, and family returning to their roots. It was a bold declaration of trust and faith in the potential of the African people. "We trust you," they said. "Come and see what Benin has to offer." In a continent often defined by suspicion and guarded borders, this act of open arms was radical hospitality, a beacon of hope. Instead of fearing scarcity and protecting limited resources, Benin bet on abundance, on the power of shared prosperity. They believed that visitors with open hearts and minds would bring value, money, fueling the economy, skills enriching the workforce, and ideas sparking innovation. While others were busy building walls, both physical and metaphorical, Benin rolled out a welcome mat, inviting the continent in. The message was simple, yet powerful. Pan-Africanism isn't just a slogan to be chanted at rallies. It's a practice, a daily commitment to building a united Africa. You want to see unity in action? Don't just listen to the speeches and promises of politicians. Look at Benin's borders, where the reality of a borderless Africa is taking shape. At Cotonou's bustling airport, and at the busy land crossings with Nigeria and Togo, the dream of a truly borderless Africa is alive and well, being lived out every day. Benin's move cut through the empty rhetoric and offered a real, tangible solution to the challenges of African unity. It challenged the old fears that have held the continent back and showed the world what's truly possible when you embrace trust and collaboration. The result? A new era of connection, of shared opportunity, and of boundless potential. One country's bold step became a beacon of hope and a shining example for the entire continent to follow. The question now is, what happens when you truly open the doors and welcome your neighbors with open arms? Who benefits from this radical act of hospitality? Let's find out as we delve deeper into the story of Benin. Because Benin's story is just beginning and its impact is only starting to be felt, and it's changing the narrative of Africa, one passport stamp or lack thereof at a time. When you say you're welcome to a continent, people show up, and when people show up, economies come alive. Small businesses, food vendors, taxi drivers, artisans, feel the difference first. Hotels that once relied on a trickle of foreign tourists now see steady business from African neighbors. Families from Lagos take weekend trips, students from Lome visit for fun. This means more jobs, more income, and more stability. The benefits ripple out. Farmers sell more produce, tailors get more orders, shopkeepers see more customers. It's not foreign aid, it's commerce, powered by open borders. Every tourist is an economic boost, their spending circulating through the community. Benin's visa-free policy opened thousands of new economic channels. The result? More opportunity, more growth, more hope. All from a simple stamp that says welcome. It's proof that sometimes the best development tool is just letting people in. Open doors don't just fill hotel rooms, they fill pockets too. And it all starts with trust. Benin's trust in its neighbors is paying off. Before 2016, Cotonou was lively but local. Now the city pulses with new energy. Walk through Jonquet at night and you'll hear fawn, Nigerian pidgin, Senegalese French, Ghanaian TWI. Cotonou feels more cosmopolitan, more connected. The influx of visitors has sparked a creative boom. New art galleries, adventurous restaurants, and cultural fusion everywhere. Local dishes blend with flavors from across Africa, enriching, not erasing, Benin's culture. The city's infrastructure is improving. Roads, public spaces, and historic sites are being restored. The Amazon statue stands tall, a symbol of Benin's proud history now shared with new African visitors. The better the city looks, the more people come. The more people come, the more investment flows in. Cotonou is gaining confidence, inviting the continent to see its treasures. It's no longer just a gateway, it's a destination. Here you can feel the pulse of a new, interconnected Africa. The city is alive with possibility. And it all started with an open door. Benin's spiritual heritage, Vodun, was long misunderstood. Hollywood called it voodoo, turning it into a stereotype. But open borders have let Benin reclaim its story. More Africans visit to learn about real Vodun, not the caricature. In Ouida, local guides and priests share their traditions with curious visitors. This isn't a show, it's authentic culture, proudly explained. The result? Economic benefits for communities and a deeper respect for heritage. Benin proves you don't need a theme park. Your culture is your greatest asset. Authenticity attracts, and Benin is leading the way. Ganvi, a village on stilts in Lake Nokoué, is unlike anywhere else. Once a place of refuge, it's now open to the continent. African tourists can visit, hire local boatmen, and hear the real stories of the Tofinu people. The floating market, guest houses, and guides all benefit directly from tourism. Residents are active participants, not just photo subjects. The new visitors, often fellow Africans, come with respect and curiosity. Ganvi is a model for sustainable tourism, preserving culture while creating opportunity. Opening up hasn't destroyed what's special, it's helped it thrive. Here, tourism is a celebration, not an invasion. The village's magic is now shared and sustained by its own people. That's the power of open borders. Is Benin's experiment working? Absolutely. Tourism is up, the economy is growing, and the world is taking notice. More importantly, Benin has proven that open borders work. The African Union dreams of a visa-free continent, but progress is slow. Benin shows it's possible. Security and openness can coexist. The blueprint is simple. Trust your neighbors, make a bold decision, and watch the benefits roll in. Regional blocs could follow Benin's lead, building confidence for a continent-wide leap. Benin challenges Africa. If we can do it, why can't you? This isn't just Benin's story, it's a pilot for Africa's future. A united, confident continent is within reach. The excuses are fading. The time for action is now. If you're like Adwa, dreaming of exploring Africa, Benin is your starting point. No visa headaches, just a warm welcome to West Africa's diversity. This isn't just a holiday, it's a chance to change perceptions. Travel within Africa reveals innovation, art, and joy. Stories too often untold. Benin empowers Africans to tell their own stories, to each other. Imagine a future where visas are a thing of the past, where a young designer can book a flight on a whim and be in Cotonou by the weekend. Benin is the first step, a giant leap for the continent. Visit Ganvi, learn Vodun, feel Cotonou's energy. Let Benin be your gateway to the real Africa. The door is open, walk right in.